All right, good morning. Let's see if we can make this mud a bit clearer. Hang on. Righto, we'll obviously start off with the two dogs, male and female. And there we go. The male and female dogs, they must have ID through the website. Both of them must have ID through the website. Let's just move this a little bit so you can see it. There we go. Okay, they must both then go to the vets, be microchipped, registered. This is when we're starting out. Once the flow goes into it, then you don't have to. This part will drop out. They'll go to the vet, microchecked, registered by the vet, well registered, and registration paid. This will be all through the website, the registration and the registered. Okay, they must be a registered business to breed. Taxes paid, maximum of 1 litre every 12 months, maximum of 3 litres per female. Okay, that's very important. Okay, when we have the pups, puppy 1 and puppy 2, for argument's sakes, they will then, that's it, puppy 1 and puppy 2, that's better. Okay, they will then get their ID through the website. So the person will enter, okay, I've had 5 pups, and the website will then produce an ID. If the pups die, and it happens, you can write deceased, and then the number will still be kept, but kept as a deceased animal. This will be all done through the website. Okay, so we'll go up here. Okay, the puppies, when they're born, must be advertised with ID numbers issued from the registration from the website. No ID number, no sale. If sold with no ID number, there will be a large fine. It's very important. Large fines are important because these people are running businesses. The only way to deter them from doing stupid things is to make them pay. Okay, when the puppies are sold, registration fees will be paid. If not paid and registered, desexing, and there should be a desexing credit paid. Now, the desexing credit paid will be paid to the website for argument's sake. It can be done. This could be all determined later on, but at the moment we'll leave it like this. Registration fee paid and registered. If not paid and registered, here, large fine. Large fine. Not cards, large. That's not, and again, there it is. Large fine. Desexing credit paid again to the website or again to the council. It doesn't matter. That's semantics. We can sort that out. If not paid, large fine. Okay, that way the pups are sold, or the kittens are sold with their desexing credit already paid. Okay, we'll go down here. Puppies go to the new owners. Nice. Or kittens, it doesn't matter. Okay, after X amount of months, dogs are desexed by law using breeder credit. So the paid credit that's already been paid, that's what paid for the desexing. If not desexed, the owner wants to breed, application must be filled out or a large fine. So if you don't fill out the application and you don't get them desexed, you get a fine. There's no options there. Okay, so we'll go across and we'll go up. Okay, these are your breeding options. So if you want to keep the dog to breed, then you have to go across here. If owners fill out application to breed dog for council to approve or deny with amount of breeders in the area. So for argument's sake, we'll talk about the Rottweilers. If you want to breed a Rottweiler, you can't have 3 breeders in Melton. That's just ridiculous. You have 1 breeder in Melton, you'll have 1 breeder in Cranbourne, for argument's sakes, and you'll have 1 breeder in Geelong. You don't need 3 breeders in Melton. That is highly stupid. The amount of breeders in the area. Applications fee must be paid. No price gouging cannot be implemented due to limitations. If council deny, denied, then the animal must be desexed. That goes all the way to the other one. Okay? If the council approve, well, then this is how it starts again. the cycle starts again. So we'll go across to here and down. Okay, now here's an interesting one. So, dogs desexed by law using breeder credit. If not desexed, owners want to breed, application must be filled out. So that part goes up there. That's the breed. But if not, so they go across to here, the website will request, right, the website will request proofs of D6. If not completed, then a written warning will be implemented. And again, this can be all done with AI. Website requests proof of D6. If not completed, written warning 2. Website requests proof of D6. If not completed, council government fine. So the website can automatically issue a fine from the council without having the council having to touch it through AI. And it can be done like this. It can be signed off by a human, but the actual AI can actually do this. If proof of D6 is completed, all business is completed. So it just stops there. Nothing more needs to be done. Okay. Now, when we go later on, it'll be later on. Okay. This part here. Oh, here we go across and up. When an adult dog finishes breeding, it must be cared for. It cannot be given to a shelter, or if given to a shelter, owner receives a large fine. This is all trackable through the ID. Okay? If for some reason that the animal dies, and we all know what the human race is like, the animal dies, the body must be inspected by a vet, report signed off by the vet, for argument's sake, natural causes. If not, then there's a large fine. Okay, so we'll go across. To here. After 12 months, dated stamp pictures and vet check. And it could be a 2-second vet check. Just to say, yep, scan the chip. Yep, that's the animal and it's still alive and it's healthy. And to government to prove healthy and alive. When I write government, it doesn't have to be government, it can actually be website. And again, this will save manpower. Website. Or website. Okay? Prove health and alive. Okay, after 12 months, yada, 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 same again. And then after another 12 months, same again. Okay? Now the vet checks doesn't have to be a full-on check, and it can just go there, scan the ID, and make sure it's alive. And yep, and it can sign off it's healthy. It doesn't have to do a full bloods. It's just look at the dog's not being malnutritioned. Okay, if the parents is sold or given away, it will come across to here. The registration must be changed by the original owner on the website. If not changed, fines are issued. I know I say a lot of fines, but it's just like the tariff scenario. We're doing this to curb people's stupidity. Okay, after 12 months, stamp picture must be submitted to a website. So once it goes to a new person, it doesn't have to go to a vet every 12 months, but a date stamped picture must be submitted to the website. And people can say this is a lot of work, but so is breeding. Breeding's a lot of work for the female dogs. Okay? After 12 months, a stamped picture must be submitted to the website. Parents, if sold or given away, registration must be changed. So if they're being sold or given away again, then again the registration must be changed. If not changed, fines are issued. Okay, and then after 12 months, stamped picture must be submitted to a website. So after 2 years, it automatically becomes a bond, and this happens. This is normal, because if an animal's given away for 2 years, and it's been looked after, well, we don't have to keep submitting this. But for 2 years, it's good. The only thing I want to add, and why I'm glad we're having this conversation, is I think once it leaves the breeder, here we're going to add in dog must be desexed. That's the only extra thing I'm going to add in is dog must be desexed there. And other than that, I hope that helps. If that makes it a little bit clearer, fantastic. If it doesn't, then I'll try something else. Thank you very much.